So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. Making this video today has become incumbent, not only due to the recent news circulating on IYK Nollywood actor IYK, but also due to what is happening often, or what happens often in my DMs and inbox, which I'm going to share soon enough in this video. Now, a few days ago, this news filled social media. Let us read it. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, in collaboration with the FBI, has invited prominent Nigerian actor OGBONNA for questioning and investigation over $75,000 romance scam allegations. A 49-year-old woman named Kimberly Ann from Michigan in USA has filed a formal complaint against the actor. She claims that they have been in an online relationship since last year. She had sent more than $65,000 to him. Kimberly said that she discovered that he had been lying to her after sending him additional $10,000 to come to see her in Michigan. He refused to show, and he stopped replying to texts and calls. If OGBONNA is found guilty, he might be extradited to the US of A for prosecution. As soon as this got out, several blogs began reposting verbatim calling out OGBONNA as a fraudster, as an internet scammer. And when I came across that news, of course, I didn't just jump in on it or run with it. As usual, I began doing my own investigations and thorough findings. I first searched the official EFCC website, and then I searched the FBI press release database. I found nothing. So I refrained from speaking on it or further spreading the rumors, because although the claim had circulated widely online, there was no official confirmation from the EFCC, from the FBI, from the US Department of Justice. There was no official record or reporting of that incident, at least at the point of the making of this video. So I instantly knew exactly what this was. It really was not a surprise to me when I saw this press release from OGBONNA. Let us take a peep. Disclaimer: my attention has been drawn to a false story currently circulating online alleging that I have been invited for questioning by the EFCC and FBI over a romance scam. This report is completely false, malicious, and without any factual basis. Unfortunately, this is not the first time my name, image, and identity has been used by unknown individuals operating fake social media accounts to deceive unsuspecting members of the public. I would like to use this opportunity to state once again that I do not support, encourage, or participate in any form of internet fraud, romance scams, or any other fraudulent activity. I have never authorized anyone to represent me online, solicit money on my behalf, or engage in private conversations pretending to be me. All my official social media accounts are verified. If an account claiming to be me is not verified, it is fake. I do not operate secret backup or private accounts to communicate with fans. If you are chatting with, sending money to, or engaging with anyone claiming to be me on social media, please know that that is not me. I do not privately entertain fans in that capacity, nor do I request financial assistance, gifts, investments, or any form of payment from anyone. Please remain vigilant and be extremely careful of impersonators and catfish accounts that exploit my identity to scam unsuspecting people. I sincerely appreciate everyone who takes the time to verify information before believing or sharing it. Together, we can help curb the spread of fake news and protect innocent people from online fraud. Thank you. So that was his official statement. And really, this is not the first time. Remember this particular one here, where he came out to debunk the same thing, $70,000, that this 23-year-old guy duped an American woman of $70,000 using OGBONNA's face and identity. In fact, OGBONNA, don't suffer. OGBONNA, Frederick Leonard Makanaki, what's his name? What is the name of the other one? Kule Remy. Oh my God, these four don't suffer in the hands of impersonators and internet fraudsters and American women looking for love. These four men, just put them in your prayers. So I decided to make this video because this is becoming very common. Time and time again, I hear stories like this, not just in the news, but from some of you who share your personal experiences with me in my inbox. My inbox is a very interesting place. Now, people share these experiences with me, urging me to speak up to help them expose these celebrities, these actors and public figures. I remember the Fred and Peggy Ovire's documentary we did a few months ago, the one we did last year. A mature woman that looks like a Black American wrote this. Look at what she wrote in the comment section. I even had to pin it. This lady by name Tanya Davis, this is her picture over here. She said to me in that video, there was no marriage between Frederick and Peggy. Frederick never will marry Peggy. He left her over 5 years ago and moved on to his American fiancé. So stop spreading lies on Frederick. I will be sending this to his lawyers so you can't be sued. I pinned it for her just in case she forgets, because I've been waiting for the court papers for the litigation documents ever since and we haven't gotten it. So clearly it's obvious what has happened there. And the fact that so many people are going through this and similar situations tells me that this is a conversation that we need to have. Recently, I got one of these emails. Let us read it together. Be patient, listen, because you're going to learn from it and you're going to see loopholes. And don't think that it cannot happen to you. Don't think that this just only happens to white women. It can happen to you here. Nobody is above being scammed or being made a fool of. So listen to this story that this woman wrote to me. It said, "Good morning, Nezaville. I just discovered I have been scammed and played for a fool by RMD. I have pictures of his real passports and divorce certificates, which he showed me at the beginning of him reaching out to me. I reached out because I want this posted out to the public so he does not get to do this again to any other woman in the diaspora like myself. Hope to get a reply back from you in regards to my story." I responded and she went ahead with her story. On the 5th of May 2025, I noticed that I had a friend request on Facebook. So upon getting home, I opened it and I saw it was a friend request from one of my favorite Nigerian actor and crush, namely Richard Mofe-Damijo. I was very surprised, skeptical, and responded that this was someone impersonating the real actor, to which he replied back, "No, seriously, it really is me. But if you don't believe, we can FaceTime." I said the next 2 days will be better for me since I was babysitting my grandson. So this is a grandmother. He said that would be okay. On the 7th of May, I waited for him to FaceTime me on Facebook, but he didn't. So I sent a message saying that my hunch was correct, that it was an impersonator and not really him, the actual actor. He promptly replied and said, "How can I say such a thing like that?" Since I failed to call him, so he called me and we FaceTime, and I saw that it was really, really him and not an AI doctrine image. So he asked me if it was him or not. I said it was, and it also sounded like him. At this point, he asked if we could be friends. So I said yes. Are you guys following? Then he asked me if I was married, to which I replied, "No, divorced." "I'm also divorced too," he replied, and asked me if I have ever been to Nigeria, to which I stated I am Nigerian. So the lady is even Nigerian. He was pleasurably surprised and asked from what part of Nigeria. I said Calabar. I told him that him being divorced was definitely a lie because the real RMD was very happily married, and I have seen pictures of him and his wife everywhere at events and on vacation. He said he was truly divorced but had to keep it away from social media for personal reasons. I asked him how he got my picture, and he said it was from his Facebook wall, that he found me very interesting and decided to reach out. Firstly, he suggested that we exchange gifts, and he asked me what I liked. I said anything you give me I would truly appreciate. He said he likes clothes and he wants me to pay 33,000 naira for 3 pair of outfits for his tailor to make for him. I said I don't think I can afford this high-end tailor and how much that was in dollars. He replied that it isn't expensive and that it would be $300. I said I can't afford it, but can give him $150 and he can cover the rest. So this lady just met a man, even if it's the RMD, on Facebook. And the first conversation is about exchanging gifts. And he's already telling her the gifts he wants and how much it costs. And she's already negotiating with him. Can you see? You know, it's just like baiting with water. You don't just jump into water. You don't just jump into a pool. You first test the temperature. You put your hand, you check, is it too warm? Is it too cold? Is it lukewarm? When you test and you see that it's the ideal temperature, the water response, then you jump in. This was this person testing this woman's level of intelligence and awareness, testing her level of gullibility, because they don't just start with the big demands. This is how they start. At this point, he quickly asked for my WhatsApp phone number and told me that he would call me from there to accept. We talked a while and I told him that he was my all-time crush, to which he blushed and stated that he liked me too. That day we chatted for 2 hours. He asked me what I do and where I lived and worked. The next few days we exchanged texts and phone calls. Then about 5 or 6 days after, he saw how smitten I was of him. He asked me for my bank details, name, routing number, etc. I was extremely shocked and bluntly told him no, that that's very personal. And why is he asking for that? He told me it is because he has a business connection all over and that he would like to transfer large amounts of money to me for him from time to time. He said, listen, you see, if it feels off, it's off. Women, I wish we can learn to separate emotions from logic. But most women, why do you think that most of these romance scams are mostly women? How many ladies have posed to be Beyonce and defrauded a man? It's mostly women, because once our emotional defenses can be weakened, logic flies out of the window. Why do you think all the romance scams are mostly women? Single women, divorced women, women looking for love, women looking for validation, women looking for men, women looking for attention, women looking for... It's mostly women. Once a man can weaken us emotionally and make us feel good, make us feel loved, mesmerize us with attention and sweet nothings, we have our heads in the clouds. Now this stranger that she just met is asking her for that he wants to be sending large sums of money to her. That is a red flag for anybody listening. But for someone who is already smitten, the person is not thinking straight anymore. Ladies, if it feels off, it is off. And not just only when it comes to scams or romance scams and internet fraud. Anything when it comes to relationships, once you start seeing something that looks absurd, just know that it is absurd. I said, do you know that that's money laundering? And I could get in trouble for that. He brushed it off as if it was not significant. He started professing his love for me every day, which of course flattered me. Which woman wouldn't be? With the dashing, handsome RMD telling you how madly in love he was and couldn't wait to meet you. Is this not what I just mentioned? In fact, I've even forgotten this part because I got this message last year. So I've even forgotten all these things. It's when this IYK OGBONNA's story came. That's when I said, let me just use that as a reference to address this. You see exactly what I said. The flattery, the getting you smitten, the butterflies in the stomach and bubbles in the skull. That is how many women that end up marrying narcissists and marrying demonic men. That is how they flatter them into their doom, into hellfire. If a woman can learn to separate emotional nothingness and think logically, many women will not end up making mistakes. Then a few days later, he asked me how much I owe on my house. I was surprised and wanted to jokingly ask him if he wanted to pay it off for me, but I didn't. At this point, he told me that his kids have been urging him to remarry and relocate from Nigeria to the States for the past 2 years. And the plan is for him to relocate finally by the end of this year. Now that he has met me and we are aligned with each other, he will be happy to move to where I am and buy a house together. I told him I just bought one last September 2024 and living with my sons. So he said he will cover majority of the mortgage and I can just add whatever I can to it. I told him I was not comfortable talking about money and buying a house with him due to being scammed before. Can you see? This lady in question has been scammed before. Yet here she is. Unfortunately, he assured me that I won't ever have to worry about that because he is genuine and I would never regret anything with him because he can never allow any scandal to ruin his name. By the 3rd week, he called me and asked me how much I can contribute to the house. I said I couldn't. I didn't have money like that. He kept pressuring me about my savings or other accounts that I ended up requesting for $8,000 to be transferred from one of my retirement accounts to my checking account. Once it was there, he provided the name of an associate that banks with Access Bank in Nigeria and was walking me through doing a wire transfer from my checking account. Imagine old woman that has suffered all her life, a grandmother, went to her retirement account, the money that she used to take care of herself in old age, moved it to her checking account and began the process of wiring to this person. My bank denied the transfer at first. They called me on the phone and asked me, who is this person? How did I know him and what is the money for? They asked me if I was sure, if I felt comfortable for the money to be transferred. And I lied and I said yes. That was my initial mistake. I should have declined it. I noted that he was not being very active on the email exchange, but only texts and calls. On the 22nd of June 2025, he texted me saying he wants me to do ID.me, because wiring money via that way will not raise a red flag. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this part. Now, from the mail she sent to Access Bank, which she sent to me, she disclosed that she is 65 years old and struggling to make her mortgage payments and utilities. All right, let's go on with the story. He claims to love me so much, but didn't even pay attention to the fact that it was my birthday and he had not been responding back to my emails, texts and calls for over 8 to 9 days straight. When he called, I said it was my birthday, to which he exclaimed, "Oh my God, what are you doing for the day?" Which was not much, but to go out to eat. All this time we had been communicating, he was currently in Nigeria. So on his birthday, he sent me a text shortly after midnight stating, "Baby, it's my birthday and there are a lot of people here." I wished him a very happy birthday and everything. He failed to inform me that he was traveling out to America to celebrate his birthday with his family and friends, and also to promote both his movies in Los Angeles and New York. He spent over a month in the US, and throughout that period, he called or texted me for money and for me to keep account how much he has to pay me back, which I did. So even as at the point of sending me this email, this woman still had the conviction that it was RMD that she was in touch with, saying that he went to America for his movie. It was the real RMD that went to America. And all those while the RMD was in America, he was putting pictures of himself, his family, his wife, his wedding band, everything, while this fake RMD was representing that the real RMD is divorced. I have Zelled money to his daughter, Gloria Nta, $1,000, and an associate, Francesca F. Young, $10,000. The last money he requested for me on the 6th of August 2025, saying it was very important and he couldn't wait until the check for $5,000 he gave to his son to clear, so that the money will then be Zelled back to me. I said no, but he was very persistent. So I gave him $500 instead of the $1,000 he wanted. So they opened office on this grandmother's head. I told him that I don't want to hear any stories, for half of my mortgage has just been removed from my account and the other half on the 25th of August, and still have other bills pending. He said not to worry because his word was his bond, and I can be rest assured that it would be in my account before I get off work. Well, 7th of August came. I checked my cell phone and there was nothing received in regards to the money he promised. I called him, but he didn't pick up, sending a text message that he's on a conference call and that he will call me back soon. By this time, it was 3:20 p.m. Then he sent me another text promising that I would get my money before the end of the day. I didn't, and tried calling him at 7:30 p.m. Still no response. On the 8th of August 2025, I had sent him a text in the morning before leaving for work that he should better ensure that my money is in my account before I get off from work, because I don't want to be at work having high blood pressure, thinking about my account going to overdrafts. Got off work, checked my phone, and still the same no money sent to my account from his son. Mr. My word is my bond. You can be rest assured that you have nothing to worry about or ever regrets. I never in my wildest dream thought that RMD can be so callous, cold, and basically not give a flip about anybody's situation as long as he can benefit from it. Well, I am very sorry to say that he thought he got away with the perfect scam unscathed and no effect on his reputation or character. I am putting a stop to these celebrities that feel that they can do anything behind closed doors to innocent people and get away with it, acting holier than thou and putting on another face in social media. They all need to be exposed to save another person from going through the same thing with them. But I will be the first to return back to Nezerville and say that he has returned my money back in full if ever he wants to retain that impeccable name of his, RMD, and his reputation. I have emails, photos, and texts to back up my story, and also bank transfers and Zelle transactions as well. Please kindly put this story out there. I would like to remain anonymous. And then she sent me several pictures of the guy who, by the way, looks so much like RMD, but a sort of younger version. Clearly wasn't him. If you know him very well, it wasn't him, but he looked so much like him. She sent me several screenshots of several bank transfers and, you know, transaction receipts and communications between them, down to the international passports and the divorce certificate sent. Now, just a peep at the international passport that she sent to me revealed everything that I needed to know. I didn't even have to look further. First and foremost, the passport photo was superimposed. The picture was cropped in. It didn't look like what the regular Nigerian international passport photograph looks like. It was superimposed. Secondly, look at the name underneath. You know, when the names on your passports appears up where the names are spelled out, below the passport, the names will be rewritten in the exact way and fashion it appeared above. Now, if you look down, you will see that there was a spelling error. Instead of Richard Mofe Damijo, it was Richard Mof Damijo. So the person that doctored this then forgot to put the E there. The Nigerian Immigration Service will never make such a mistake. Thirdly, if you look at the fonts, the font size, the font density, the density of the color, and even the arrangement of the passport number under, right beneath the names, you will see that it has different font colors on those numbers down there, which is not typical. Just from the international passports, all the red flags I needed to see were already there, not to talk about the conversations and all of that. As I wrap up this video, I need to remind you, I have worked in banking and finance for a long time. I have seen people come to the bank and collapse after finding out that their life savings have been wiped off through fraud. I need everybody watching me to understand that as you wake up every day and work hard to earn an honest living, there are also people waking up every day thinking of new ways to separate you from the fruits of your labor. Many of these criminals hide behind the identities of celebrities. They hide behind public figures, government officials, bank staff, soldiers, name it, religious leaders, to perpetrate this evil. Earlier this year, a 53-year-old French woman lost about $850,000 to these guys. Imagine the amount of money. She must have sold her home after paying off her mortgage. She must have sold her home, because where does she want to get $850,000? She lost almost $1 billion to these guys who used AI and fake social media accounts to convince her that she was in a romantic relationship with Brad Pitt, Hollywood actor Brad Pitt. Imagine $850,000 US. So please, if someone claiming to be a celebrity or whoever starts asking you for money, gift cards, cryptocurrency, or financial assistance, be careful. It's happening every day. And it is us, it is we women that fall victims to these kinds of things. Look at the Danish deception story. We spoke about it. It trended on YouTube about 2 years ago, or was it 3 years ago? The Danish deception story. Similar. So there's no color or race. Anybody can be a fraudster. Anybody can be a victim. Once you meet a guy online or offline and they start coming with bogus projects and start asking you for money. In fact, women, I don't understand you people. When I was single, once a guy asked me for money, in fact, if you are fine in my eye, immediately you turn to Shrek. You turn to monkey. So when a guy you don't know, you're just getting to know, comes to you with bogus ideas, bogus projects, and start asking you for money, shine your eyes. Now, I'm not saying women, listen to me. I'm not saying that if you have a man, we don't show working, a man that loves you, a man that has been taking care of you, a man that you are dating, or a man you are married to, and you know that in the past, this has been his trajectory, he has been there for you, and maybe a certain, he has a certain need that you cannot step in to assist him. That's different. I'm talking about a man on a clean slate, from nowhere, just came and use sweet words to bamboozle you, start sending him money. Are you a mumu? Are you a fool? Shine your eye. There's this story I wanted to cover about this lady, this girl here, who sent her whole life savings, a girl from a poor background that suffered tooth and nail, gathered her whole life savings to the last kobo, even to debt, up to 50 million naira, and sent it to this married man that she met online. Guess what? Within 3 months of meeting him, within 3 months of knowing him, sweet words, bamboozling. In addition, he still chop her raw. So in addition to giving her body, she still gave her whole money and her life savings. What sort of desperation for love pushes we women to act like this? It's the same thing we're seeing here. If you want me to tell us that gist, you want me to cover that story, just let me know down in the comment section. I will cover it for you and draw out the life lessons. Because this thing happens every day. Many people are very ashamed to come out and say it. Let us learn to use our heads, please. This our crazy search to be loved. Women, this our crazy search to be loved will put us in trouble one day. It will put us in one chance. Shine your eyes and be careful. If you don't know what to use your money to do, go and give it to motherless babies. You will see how God will bless you. Go and use it to help the poor. Give it to your parents and see how God will bless you. Instead of gathering everything and giving it to a stranger, to a thief. Let us be careful to avoid stories like this. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you are new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching us without subscribing, do well to hit the subscribe button. It's just down there and it's free of charge. There is so much you're going to learn on our channel. Give this video a big thumbs up because it does help. Drop your thoughts down in the comment section. Have you been a victim? Don't worry, don't be shy. We're not going to expose your picture. Share your experiences so others can learn. So it doesn't have to be a total stranger. It could be like a guy you felt you were falling in love with or was falling in love with. You need to see that you were just being used and financially zapped. Drop your thoughts and your experiences down in the comment section and stay glued, for we have so much more coming your way. Don't forget to grab a copy of our book, The Unbroken Spirit. It is a wonderful guide for spotting harm, recognizing danger in relationships, and rebuilding. There is so much you're going to learn from that book. It's me, your girl, Barrister Neza, and this is Nezaville. I'll see you guys in our next one. For now, bye.